What is up, Rad Potential YouTube channel? Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be the first start of a few videos involving this new project here. No, this is not my REPU, the one that you saw in the past. This is a different one, and it belongs to my buddy Charles. So, this truck is a 1974 Mazda rotary engine pickup, aka REPU, R-E-P-U. Yes, from 74 to 77, Mazda produced a mini truck that came from the factory with a rotary engine. However, it did not come from the factory set up like this. So, as you can see, this is not a carbureted rotary, which is what this would have been. These were factory 13B trucks, so they would have had a scripted housing 13B. That means that the Mazda logo does not look like that one there. It looks like, where's a good one that I can show you around here? I'll find one. It's a scripted logo, so basically it's the old school square font Mazda logo. There's got to be one around here somewhere, probably on this truck somewhere. When I find it, I'll point you out. So, what's this truck setup? This is a Streetport 13B turbo block, turbo 2 block. I believe it's an S4 block. It has, if I recall correctly, and Charles can comment below to correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that it has GSLC rotors in it with 3 mil apex seals, or it has S6 FD RX7 rotors in it. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those two. This is a turbo of unknown size and capacity. We got it from one of our friends, and it has a FD, like short runner manifold on it. FD-RX7 turbo manifold that's been modified so the wastegate fits and stuff like that. The truck's got a full 3-inch exhaust all the way back to a rotor muffler, and it's running on a Haltech E6K, I believe, which is old. Like, this isn't Windows-based tuning, this is DOS-based tuning, so this is like old school. So, what's the goal for this truck? Well, and the story. So Charles got this truck, we'll say 15 years ago, 17, 16 years ago, I don't know, a while back, and took it all apart and started working on it. Was going to restore it. He put floors in it, fixed the rot in the floors over here. There was some crustiness, and just kind of took it apart in his garage and was working on it for a good amount of time. So when I first met Charles, the truck was in his garage underneath a whole bunch of stuff. There was a ton of engines in his garage, and it was a storage unit, not a garage. So, my goal, try to change that. So, last year, this would be 2018, this truck did its first burnout since forever. We put a Holley carburetor on it. We just jerry-rigged up some wiring and got it running. And put the rest of the truck together, got the cab on, etc., did the brakes, did the whole deal, and we did a burnout on Halloween, which was super cool, because it was like the first time the truck had ever ran, first time the truck had made noise for a lot of the people that knew Charles, and it was a great success. So then the next step was, let's finish putting it together, and then get it running turbo, because the whole goal was, I had always known the truck as turbo truck. So, big turbo, we got the turbo motor in there. It does only have a stock 4-speed. The cool thing about it is it has a limited slip in the back. But anyways, back to the story. So this year, our goal was to get it running fuel injected by the same day, which we achieved well in advance. So we set a new goal. We were going to try to get it painted by then. But we ran into a bunch of other projects, had some things come back we had to fix, that sort of thing. So we got it pretty much there, except for paint. So the reason it's here is because I'm going to strip it, we're going to get it primed, we're going to get it painted, and we're going to get it back to Charles before Deals Gap next year. So the goal is that this truck can come to Deals Gap, full prepped, ready to go. It's going to be Mazda winning blue, so if you've seen an RX-8, newer RX-8s, it's the same blue as those. My flashlight's a little bright, kind of washing it out, but we already painted around the jams and stuff. So the reason it's here, though, is because Charles' garage has a bunch of stuff in it. I generally spend more time in my garage to be able to sand and clean and get all the crap off of it, because it's kind of got some sketchy body work here and there and this and that. And Calvin, whom you've seen on the channel, is a body man, so he does paint and body. That's his job. So he's coming down in a couple weeks to help me. We're gonna pull this dent out right here. You can see it there. And then kind of patch up this little area. I think there's some sketchy stuff going on here where this mirror was. We'll have to patch up. This one does have the antenna hole deleted, which I believe is on that side. So we may have to touch up, yeah, right in here. May have to touch up some stuff on that. But the goal is get it stripped down to a good base. We'll get some good etch prime sealer on it. We'll prime it, block it, and then we're not trying to do a $15,000 paint job on this truck. We're trying to get it looking good. So good, 80%. So we need to make sure that it's all one color. All the paint's going to stick. It's not going to come off. Fix the majority of the dents, basically like what I did with my convertible, and just get it looking real tight. So that's the plans for it. But anyways, some of the really cool things that this truck has. The 3-inch exhaust comes all the way back to a 3-inch rotor muffler right here with a Exotic Speed RX-8 rotor shaped tip. So looking trick. And Charles did have the REPU tag on his other REPU at one point in time. One of the sad things to go is this really sick single bar tailgate. So 74 early models had a 1-bar tailgate. Basically, once they found out that that bead roll wasn't strong enough and tailgates were getting dented all the time, they put 2 bars on. So if you look at my rotary truck, it has a 2nd bar down the bottom. This one's in like an original rotary truck color, and it has a really cool kind of hand graphic. So it's sad to see that go. I wanted to save it, but we don't have any other tailgates that are better than this, so this one's going to get redone. With this truck being fuel injected, we have a fuel cell in the bed, and the stock fuel tank is still down there. So this truck has proper range, even at like 10 miles to the gallon. So it carries 35 gallons of fuel, 20 in the regular tank, 15 in this tank, and it's got a lift pump that pumps from the stock tank into this tank. So basically, there's 2 fuel gauges on the dash, which I'll show you, and a toggle switch under the dash. So when you fill up the main tank, you just pump it into the fuel injection tank. And that's got an electric pump and stuff mounted over there with filters and all that external pump. Also, if you notice, the engine bay is super clean, so there's no wiring and stuff that you see. Reason being is because the brains of this whole operation is under the dash. So fuse block and relays for all fuel ignition systems set up right there, mounted to that little heater box thing. We have the Haltech E6K mounted there. We have both of these. These are FC engine coils, so trailing coil, leading coil, GM map sensor there, and everything's basically under the dash. Also, you didn't see the blow-off valve because the blow-off valve is in the driver's side front fender. Because our goal was to just keep the truck super clean and make it look awesome. So no clutter, just a good looking truck. So getting to this side, basically it is still the stock dash. For the most part, however, we've got all the gauges right here. So AFR, boost, water temp, oil pressure, and then this is the 2nd fuel gauge here. So you can see we've got this fuel gauge, top left, right there, and that fuel gauge. And then there's a switch mounted under here that turns on the pump to fill that one back up. So that's how that's working. Sorry for the echo in there, but a little bit of an echo. So I'm gonna pop the garage door open, fire this thing up. It is on it's missing a wheel right now, which kind of put a damper into what I wanted to do tonight, because I was going to try to fix the heater in my silver car, and I'm not going to take a wheel off my REPU to put it on here. So we had a tire that separated on it, and Charles is getting that fixed. So for now, we'll fire it up, not on the wheel. Neutral, no gas, key on. It is on a separate switch. We were having issues getting the REPU switch working, but crank it a second, reprime the fuel system. It's been sitting. Come on. Alright, she's living. So this truck isn't completely tuned, so basically the last few things, buttoned up a couple of things on the interior. Charles has another seat that's getting redone for it. Paint it, and and then take it to the dyno to tune it. So it's got a tune from Shiba, which is one of our other builds around here that's running the same ECU, same coil setup, same everything. So that's why it'll idle, but it runs lean on the top end. So we have driven it, which is pretty nice. So I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit. And then we'll do some revs. Yeah. All right, so we got some heat in it now. Rev it up a little bit. Alright, y'all. So that's the turbo rotary truck. It's a wastegate pressure. It should make, like, we're hoping for like just under 300 or right at 300 horsepower to the tire. Which these trucks, if you don't know, they only weigh about 2,600 pounds. Kind of all dressed up. So this one should be right around there. It's got a lot of extra fuel in it, but we did cut some weight out of, like, not a full exhaust and stuff like that. Added weight for the turbo and intercooler piping and stuff. So, but it should rip. It should be pretty fast. It's not going to be on slicks or anything yet. It'll just be on these 225 Kumos, which are pretty old. They're kind of dry rotted out, but they'll spin good. It'll keep us from breaking the drive shaft and the transmission, even though I think it'll probably still break at some point. But it does have a front mount intercooler, so you can see it down here. It's frame mounted to the bumper mounts, which is cool. All the grill's going to be black, and then the blow off valve is down here. So we'll make, I'm thinking like a aluminum shield basically that zip ties or mounts to the intercooler piping just to keep the dirt and grime off that blow off valve. So I think that should be it should be pretty sick. So kind of the next few, not really the next few videos, but in the next month or so, you're probably going to see progress happening on this. I'm not planning on like showing you that I sanded one bedside, even though that's probably like what I'd get done in a night. One bedside, move to the tailgate, move to there, move to, just move around it. But I'll kind of just update you as we work on other stuff. So, so yeah, pretty stoked for it. It should be a ripper. It should be a ripper. So we are dang excited to see some progress happen. So thanks for tuning in. Comment below what you'd like to see us do with it. I think we should have some pretty good fun with it. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more rotary content. I'm gonna finish working on these wheels here tonight, which is in a previous video, and then I've got to finish up the fixing the heater in the silver car. So that's kind of gonna be happening this weekend. That way I can drive it more. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, keep it rad.